Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Java programming tutorials series. So what we're going to do in part 2 is we're going to learn how to set up a basic project, kind of how Eclipse works, and then really get into the meaning of some things in Java so that we have a pretty good understanding when we start with the actual coding. And on that topic, coding, a lot of it isn't necessarily the constant typing and the actual coding itself. A lot of it's it's like setting up a skeleton of your program and then just filling the pieces in. So you're going to be writing kind of an outline of a program and then just filling it in with stuff. And yeah, so you'll see what I mean later on in some tutorials when we actually start working on it. So for starters, here's what Eclipse looks like. It's pretty simple. Now, don't worry if you don't have these Android things and maybe some of these things. It's only because I do a little Android programming, and you can do that in Eclipse too. It's a bunch of extra installed stuff. You won't have it. Nobody should. If you do, then it's kind of weird. Anyways, so don't worry about that. So you got all these basic things, though. You got your run. This is kind of the main thing we're going to use. We're not going to really worry about a lot of this stuff because it's kind of useless. So over here, Package Explorer. This is kind of like our Finder kind of thing. It's going to show us like our folders and our files and all this for our project. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our first project. All you do is you right click, you hit new, and we're going to do a new Java project. Now for this, just leave all the settings. It should be set up fine. Project name, we're going to name this Cookbook. Okay? It's going to make sense. You're probably wondering, what the hell, why is he calling it Cookbook? You'll see. This eGet warning, if you get it, don't worry about it. If you don't worry about it. Doesn't mean anything. So in Cookbook, if we go over here, we press our little arrow, it'll show all of our stuff. Don't worry about these. These are just kind of bleh, don't need them. So SRC, this is our source folder. This is where all of our classes and our methods and everything are going to go. Now, those words sound confusing. Don't worry. Yet again, it's all going to start to make sense soon. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on our source folder and just make a new class. Alright, and we're going to name this Waffles, because I like waffles. If you want to do pancakes, whatever floats your boat. And we're just going to hit finish. Don't worry about the rest of the settings. Doesn't matter. Oop. Keyboard's going a little insane. Alright, so here's what it looks like. This is Java. This is our class. A class is like a page in our cookbook, our project cookbook. So waffles, this page is all about how to make waffles. Before we do anything, in between these two curly braces, I'm going to call them brackets. Just give it a little space, and then you got to type public static void main parentheses string capital S. You can't forget that. String args. Now after string, we're going to put 2 square brackets, and just hit enter, and it'll go through. Now put another bracket and just hit enter. Give it a little space, We don't like things too jumbled up, because I'm a perfectionist. Anyways, so what these things mean. Oh, got a little scam message. Sorry about that. What we're going to do is, what these things mean is public. Alright, well, this doesn't matter. Class. What a class is like I said, it's like a page in your cookbook. That's why our project's called Cookbook. We're gonna make a cookbook, pretty much. Not actually, but just kind of as a way of thinking of how Java works, I guess. So class waffles is like this whole page in our cookbook, and our cookbook is our program. Now, our public static void main blah blah is a method. This is our main method too. So this is the first thing and the main thing that our program refers to when it starts. Now a method, what that is that's like a set of commands, or pretty much like a little chunk of your page, like a paragraph. Maybe, let's say our main paragraph is on beating the eggs for our final mix, or whatever we want to call it. Well, I don't know what this is. Sorry. And so, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to just kind of ignore the string args and the static part, because these things just need to be here. They don't really do anything. We'll get into more advanced stuff later where these things might change up, but for now, just leave them exactly how they are. But static, or what void means it's going to return something. Okay? So it's going to have something in it that's going to maybe type something out, like print something out. And which brings us to public. Public means any other page in our cookbook, when we make them, can kind of access this method or these set of commands. So let's say we needed to know how to beat eggs for pancakes, or maybe some crepes, if you like crepes. So what we could do is, in our page on crepes, or a new class for crepes, we could eventually call this method or this paragraph on how to beat eggs, so that we don't have to rewrite it again. It's just a way of shortening things and communicating within your program. So, I think I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna make this the end of this tutorial, because it's going a little long, and these are sort of the basic things that we're gonna need to know. And next video, yep, we're gonna finally start programming. I know it's been dreadful, but trust me, listening to these things will pay off, and just make sure you stick with it, because it's going to be boring, or it's going to be tough at times. You just got to stick with it. So make sure you tune back in for part 3. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.